It's going.
Okay,
You can go.
I'll edit it. All right, so we have 3 different suture types already thrown, so that way we can show how to cut different suture types. The first one, we have a buried knot, and both tails are coming out on the same side here. The second one, we have a regular deep suture, where we see both of them coming up top. And then the third one, we have an external suture. So we're gonna go down the line and show you how to cut them all. So when we tie the buried knot, you wanna make sure as you're tying it that we're pulling that knot on the other side where they're both supposed to go, so that way the skin sits nicely. And after you're done with your knots, we can actually, because of the way this is cut, we're gonna cut it straight across, and you don't have to worry about the knot because it's gonna be buried. So now it's underneath that suture. We can dab this a little bit. We can see in here that the knot is actually below where the suture is. So you don't have to worry about cutting that knot, you just cut flush. Then when we have a regular suture that's deep, we want to leave a little bit of a tail to it. So we do our regular throwing, and then this one's not buried, so you don't want to cut that knot. So we're going to come down, turn 45 degrees, and then cut, and you can actually see here that the knot is higher up. So that's why we leave a little bit of a tail, so if there's any slippage, the knot doesn't fully slip off there. But this is a good comparison between a deep buried versus a regular deep where that knot's going to be higher. And then lastly, we have our external sutures, which the goal of the external suture cutting is leave the tail long enough that it's easy to take out and you don't have all of the scab from the incision healing it up, but don't leave it too long so that way it's hard to suture everything else around it. So everybody has their own preference at this point, but you want to leave roughly about 1 centimeter so that way it's easy to take these out, because sometimes as they heal down like that, the incision will scab over it, so you don't want to have too much crusting over it.